3, 2.
From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's high noon and high time that you tuned into the Spirit of Sports, hosted by Brother Richie. The Spirit of Sports is the flagship of the Not Pods family. Not Pods' complete archive can be found at Not Pods on YouTube. And now for our host, Brother Richie.
That's me. Hey, aloha and welcome.
Was that a chicken in the background? Oh,
yeah.
That's very good.
And
Very appropriate for
then
where
his
we
kid.
are.
Yes, but we never say exactly. Brother Richie live. This is the Spirit of Sports show brought to you by notpods.com, coming soon. And my YouTube channel at notpods. The Spirit of Sports. We're talking sports. We're talking life here in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I'd like to welcome aboard my very special guest and one of my best friends, Uncle Raz. Second time on the show.
Uncle means that I'm older than you, right, Richie?
Barely.
Barely. I'm a lot older.
You're older than most people, though. You got me beat by a couple.
More like a dozen. But that's neither here nor there. I think I'm one of the people that encouraged and inspired Richie to do this show. This man, from the first time he started doing this, kind of just with a regular tape recorder and showing his passion for sports, I said, this guy's got to be wasting talent if I've ever seen it. So at least we've come this far, and now he's attempting to get started, and I think he's well on his way, actually. What I'm asking him to do is show a little bit more of the emotion that he shows during a game, because it's rare. It's not just crazy rage, it's sensible rage. And I'm encouraging him to display some of that. So if you see him getting a little up there with the barometer, take it all in and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, Maddie. Maddie comes over to games to watch me watch the game. Doesn't really care so much about the game. And it's it's not like just you're pissed off for no reason. Right? Like, why does Baltimore lead the league in rushing and only run the ball 6 times with their running backs? Why is Lamar in the pocket and just staying in the pocket, waiting way too long to take off? Why no designed rollouts, designed runs? Why, Raz?
Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't get to see that game as much as I did the Detroit game. But looking at the highlights and everything you're talking about, I'm just baffled. I'm baffled by Lamar being old Lamar instead of what he's been this whole season, Lamar. And all of a sudden, it kind of seemed to just be curtailed for some reason. Did he lose confidence in himself? Did the coaching staff throw out the season-long playbook? I mean, they beat many good teams this year.
Pounded them.
They
Blew out San Fran.
I had to work half that day, and I kind of just assumed already that I would see a score that satisfied me because I wanted Baltimore to win. Now, looking at the highlights and talking to you, yeah, we often ask ourselves, these, and you know what? We love John Harbaugh, yeah? It's hard to want to pick him apart for this. And I don't know if the offensive coordinator is more should be looked at, but I don't know. This didn't have to happen. What do you think?
Oh, very much did not have to happen. 17-10 final. Kansas City onto the Super Bowl. Another 2 weeks, a little bitch. Clear your throat, bro. How about that? It's effing irritating. Kermit the Frog. I just fast forward when I see him now. But, 17-7 at halftime. They kept them scoreless in the second half. Ravens D stepped it up 5 punts in the second half, and all they could come away with is a field goal. 4 personal fouls. That's 60 yards. Taunting, late hits, getting in altercations after the play's over, getting baited by Travis Kelce. Discipline. You know, I can handle a hold. I can handle missed tackles. The mental errors is what just drives me nuts. And the misinformed schemes and the play calling. This makes no sense.
Yeah. Without just skipping ahead, and we can go back and forth. How does Detroit run the ball on the first series and just march down with complete and total confidence, and even do it again, and then not score 1 point for a whole second half? Not 1 point. When they came out of the locker room after halftime, I don't know. I saw body language that it almost looked like they had been given bad news, that they weren't the same guys. And it showed immediately as soon as they got on the field. What happened in there? How did the mindset change that bad, that quickly?
And you're up 24-7.
Yes.
How do you come out with bad body language? Unless they said, hey, check it out, Vegas said.
Something.
Does it come to that? And Taylor Swift has to be at the Super Bowl? Maybe it was supposed to be Baltimore until the Taylor Swift started happening.
Yeah. Yeah, there are those that believe there's a bigger show here, that Baltimore never was going anywhere.
Not since Taylor Swift came around. Because remember, I showed you that picture. It said performing in the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco.
Well,
Super
we're talking
Bowl.
millions of dollars.
Billions.
There's a population of people that don't watch football, but watch Taylor Swift.
Oh, for sure.
So that you're adding millions more viewers.
Millions, hundreds,
and
hundreds
who
of
knows
millions.
what kind of articles of memorabilia and everything else they can sell. Who knows what they're going to have at that Super Bowl? I bet there'll be T-shirts of Kelsey and her with her mouth like this.
Yeah, with the red lipstick.
And trust me, I have nothing but complete admiration for this woman. My God, what a performer. And she deserves all the accolades she gets. I guess when we talk about her being with Travis, maybe we're a little jealous. I don't know. But I have nothing bad to say about Taylor Swift. I just think the whole thing somehow shouldn't mesh with football. And it's starting to, or has become a part of it all. You know, I'm an old school person in so many ways. I just want things to be what they are. Football. Real football. You know, these penalties of throwing Mahomes down and, that was a little too hard. Flag. God, you make me sick. When he cried about that, you know, Tony lining up offside, it was the worst call I've ever seen in my life. And then they're holding him back like he's going to go get a ref. And the look on his face was like a baby that didn't get what he wanted for.
And he was lined up offside.
It was lined up offsides. I mean, there was nothing. Sure, you could overlook it, and I hear, oh, yeah, they usually give them a warning. What were they supposed to do? I mean, it happened, but don't show that kind of leadership. That is not leadership. That's crybaby. That someone might, from Kansas City, want to shoot me. I get it. I love my Chargers, and they're the worst. They've let me down my whole life. You can say what you want about them, and I'm going to have to agree. But you should agree, this guy acts a little babyish a lot. Not
especially this
like
year.
Tom Brady.
Especially this year. Seems just more.
Just, yeah.
That's why I call him a little bitch.
Entitled.
Sick of him, bro.
Entitled, and the talent is incredible. I mean, wow.
They do get some calls, too, and some non-calls.
Yeah. But I'd sure like to see him. And you know what? Actually, I haven't studied it, but I heard he may become Man of the Year or Player of the Year for his philanthropy work.
Oh, NFL Man of the Year.
Yeah.
The Walter Payton.
Right. And yeah, you know what? All that stuff is wonderful. And that shows that there's a person there that we probably don't really know. But we're seeing what we see. And I know, I hate being
irritating.
I want to be careful when it comes to taking someone with that kind of talent and, you know, being frustrated with them and not wanting them
I think half the country feels the same way.
I think so too.
Any dynasty, you just get sick of them and the arrogance.
Yeah.
He's a cocky little effer, bro.
Yeah, there's no question.
There's an arrogance level, and then there's, and then
I harken back to like I said, the real football games. I mean, our heroes. I always remember since I was a Charger guy, LaDainian Tomlinson. What a beautiful runner! What a great talent! But when he scored a touchdown, he'd hand it to the ref. He might every once in a while shoot up an arm or something, but
just class act.
Yeah, show some class.
Barry Sanders too.
Barry Sanders.
How about these guys? They get an interception and 20 guys go run to the other end of the field, and they're. How about too many men on the field and unsportsmanlike conduct? Where's that shit?
So we might sound like a couple of get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
But hey, it is what it is. I know there's others out there that feel the same way, and we just want to see football be football.
Not wrestling.
Yeah.
Which we don't know for sure that these outcomes are not possibly pre-manifested.
It's a scary thought.
Remember that commercial with Key and Peele guy, Michael Allen Key, and they're all sitting around. Okay, for week 7, we have this. And they're like planning out. It's kind of like a spoof on it.
Yeah.
But that kind of hits a little close to home to me.
Anyway, hope everybody's having a great Tuesday.
Oh, yes, Tuesday. We're almost through January already.
And it's kind of hard not following up a Monday night football game because it's over, right?
Yeah, always sad.
It's just a kind of a empty feeling. I've been going, is there a game this Thursday or something?
Nope.
I
can't do NBA, people. Sorry. That's not going to be, and we'll be talking life a lot because it's the spirit of sports. We're talking life. From about March to August, could be more life, Raz.
Well,
we got the combine. We'll follow some of that. We got the draft.
I like baseball.
Kirby had his interview with him. Kirby Yates, now a member of the world champion Texas Rangers, so that's exciting. A boy grew up right up the street that we've known pretty much his whole life.
And this is going to get very elementary to some of you, but this is why I tell Richie I'm not sure I should sit down on your show because I just don't know a lot about things that are common to everybody else. But how does, for instance, the Dodgers spend way more money and get players against, say, like Toronto or somebody? I mean, how is the playing field fair?
It's not.
When I don't understand how.
No salary cap league because they have a good union. The players won't, the union is so strong that they can't have a salary cap. NFL, the owners are stronger.
I see.
Major League Baseball.
It's just kind of like, when the season starts, 3/4 of the team are already out of it.
Yeah.
Before the season even starts. I mean, you should have a hope that's why I thought it was refreshing last year that the Diamondbacks just kind of popped up out of nowhere. True. And put together a really nice team on a low payroll.
Pirates had some good years, made the playoffs on a low payroll.
Yeah.
Padres spent a lot of money. It doesn't always work, though.
See, it doesn't.
Look at the Yankees haven't won since 2008.
That's true.
Dodgers, they have won since 88. They spend, and what? Otani and the other guy?
That's
Matsushita or something.
Oh, they got him too.
They got 2 guys. Did the Mets get one? See, I
don't know that for sure.
Baseball will be coming later.
There you go.
You got 1 NFL game left.
And then I'm excited as hell about my Chargers getting Harbaugh as their head coach.
Let's talk Jim Harbaugh.
A lot of people have a lot of reasons to say, whatever, but you have to admit, when you look at his record, his leadership qualities are off the charts. Players want to play for him. His enthusiasm and love of the game, his family are all a part of what makes who he is. And I love that. I've always wanted a coach that players will gravitate to. Plus, he was a player. And he actually quarterbacked for the Chargers a couple of years. Plus, he surrounds himself with excellent coaching. I just think this is something.
Turned around every program.
Yeah.
USD.
Yeah, USD.
Turn them around.
Way down in San Diego.
Was a Stanford. 35-point underdogs going and beat USC.
Huge turnaround there.
Yep.
And then a short time in San Francisco.
Super Bowl
And playoffs back-to-back years. So anyway.
And Michigan took a little longer.
And
you know, this Charger roster is loaded.
Yeah, and
it's just been poorly coached for too long.
And it's just not too late to save that team. But
not at all.
I think the AFC West is interesting, to say the least. I mean, I believe Antonio Pierce for the Raiders is a fantastic choice for that particular team, being that he is a defensive tough guy, and you know, no matter what, that goes with the Raiders logo. And then Sean Payton, I don't know what's really going to happen there, but he's bound to turn that thing in a competitive way. What about Russell Wilson? Is he done?
We don't know. What do you think? I don't think he's done. I mean, he'll catch on somewhere else.
Oh, but is he done in Denver?
I don't know. He had a decent year.
He did.
24 touchdowns and 7 picks. Played like 15 games. I think Peyton came in and just said, I don't like him.
As much as he's kind of a pretty boy, I guess, or something, you know, at Seattle, they kind of didn't really have a groove for him either in some ways. The old Legion of Boom guys. But I feel sorry for a guy when he was getting scolded on the sidelines. I felt bad for him.
You know, grown man.
The look
on
his
Super Bowl.
The look on his face.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, you're getting it.
It's not my fault we lost 70-20 in week 4 or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sean Payton, I have a little less respect for him. He seems a little more like
I'm glad rough. I'm glad he didn't become our coach, because he very well could have. I way rather go with the Harbaugh style. Yeah. But then again, one of my best memories is I worked at a restaurant here where we are in the Pacific Ocean, that one night this guy walked up the front door and he had that like birthmark thing under his eye on his cheek. And I look at him close and go, heck, that's Drew Brees. And he came in and asked for a table. And I said, hello, Mr. Talking to him was just like talking to one of your everyday friends. He was so down to earth. And so I ended up getting to be his waiter. And anyway, I saw him get up to go to the bathroom. And I said, shit, I'm going to go in there with him and follow him. You know, it's Drew Brees. I love this guy. So he's at the urinal there taking a pee. And I went to the one right next to him. And I said, hey, how's it? And he's like, oh, hey. They call me Raz. That's my nickname. He's like, hey, Raz. I said, can I tell you something? And this is the honest truth, guys. I said this, and you wouldn't believe it, but it happened. I said, you are going to go to the Super Bowl, and you're going to be the MVP this next season. That year, he did, and they did. And I've always wanted to see him since. I never have. He bought property on our island, and I was hoping that I could run into him again, but I never have. But that very year,
I don't remember you telling me that.
Oh, yeah. No, we were taking a pee, and I told him he was going to be MVP and win the Super Bowl. This was the year he came from the Chargers, and New Orleans was
And Katrina.
Yeah, and the Katrina thing happened. And so for me to say that there was really no reason other than, but I've had that all my life. Somehow I get tapped on the shoulder and I'm told premonitions. And it's happened to me all my life. I know other people have the same
Remember
thing.
you said I was going to birdie number 4 years ago at Poipu Bay.
Yeah, he calls me all the time, says, hey, I'm going to play today. What's my swing key today? And I'll say something like, today you're going to hit one extra club and focus on keeping your head down. Well, for some reason I said, you know what? You're playing. Okay, I know that course. Number 4, you're going to chip in from off the green for a birdie. He's all, what? I go, yeah, just remember I said that. Right?
It was a putter, but it was off the green.
Yeah.
And it was a bomb.
It was
like 70 feet. And I called him right then and said, you're not going to effing believe it.
I know.
You didn't say you're going to birdie a hole. You're going to, from off the green,
chip in or something like
on
that.
hole number 4.
But specifically said the hole.
Yeah.
which was very bizarre. The thing that happens to me most is I'll think of somebody, just you're driving along, or say you're walking down the beach, or you're pulled into a gas station. It'd be anything, and somebody comes into my mind
From years past,
just
even.
someone I haven't seen in 5 or 10 years, or even longer sometimes. Boom. Oh, wow, that's a trip. Yeah, I wonder how he's doing. And sure enough, that person will walk up. I don't care if this is a store, the beach, at the gas station. And I look at him and I go, oh, I don't even believe this. It's happened to me dozens of times. So say what you will. For 2 years in a row, I won our golf pool.
Masters.
The Masters pool with, 50 participants. You got to pick four players, four guys, blah, blah, blah.
Can only pick one of the top 5.
And it's pretty hard to pull that off. And I had it back to back, or back to 1 year miss, and then the next year. But I remember people going, fucking hey, what? One guy that ran it didn't want to pay me. He just didn't like the fact that I was winning.
That, in fact, you didn't tip him, even though he shortchanged you.
Yeah, he's one of these guys that collects the money, and then he owes you $575, and he goes, "Well, here's $490." I don't know where the
other guys. If you're running the pool, you cover and you get the money.
Yeah,
that's crap. Number one, and number two, he would put all the shit in his desk, so you wouldn't even know. You got to have the printout and see who you're rooting for and against.
This guy was so shady, and then the year that this was the very next year. The name of some obscure maintenance worker at the company he worked for,
Libido,
Mark Libido, or Mark
Libido, was a
Libido,
Filipino name.
Yeah, some obscure. Since when do Filipinos even watch the NFL? Sorry, golf.
Yeah,
golf. Excuse me. Anyway, we're like, what?
And it was obscure guys.
And he's the type that would fill out the sheet at the end and throw the paper in there. And I'm not bringing up any names.
He still owes somebody for a Super Bowl pool he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, we obviously aren't playing with that guy too much anymore.
No.
And then one guy that used to run the pools before him,
mailman.
We used to call him the mailman, and he had shady practices. And the next year he got cancer and died. Life's a strange thing, boy.
I remember there was the bar OMs in Corvallis when I was there in the early 90s. And the guy ran it out of the bar, the bartender, and his name was Budman. The pick 'em pool, just pick all the games with sheets. And there's 20, 30, 50 sheets, so $500. And Budman won it every other week. And it's his pool. And it's his sheet. It's like, come on, Budman. Are you kidding me?
Well, the reason we're bringing this up is because we would be so sad if the Vegas influence, the huge, big, scary money, really has anything to do with the NFL. Is it possible?
It's very possible.
I mean, really?
Especially with DraftKings and FanDuel and Caesars
the hell out of me.
MGM.
It's the most beautiful game we have in the United States.
It's the last true bastion of manhood.
And if it's really
warriors risking their life.
Yes.
And if it's premeditated.
If there's something going on back there, I don't know.
I don't even want to know, really.
It'd be a shame, but
just tell us it's wrestling. It's sports entertainment. That's the definition. It's not really a game. It's sports entertainment.
Well, hopefully it's not.
How many $1 billion to chance? I think not. Vegas made a lot of money back on Dallas Green Bay. $55 million.
Wow.
Because who saw that coming? Especially on the money line. Just pick the Cowboys to win.
Who would have the biggest influence on fixing a game? The referees? The players themselves?
Those two.
The coaches?
I think players themselves.
Is that why they have earphones on? That occasionally they're having to say something like, okay, this is it. You got to fumble right here. You got to turn this ball over. But this has gone too far. Next thing you know, the guy's running around the corner holding the ball loose. Oh!
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so sad to even say. But we're wondering if
too much. And incontrovertible evidence when they go under the screen, when they're looking to the blue box, used to be under the hood. They'll look at it for 2-3 minutes, Incontrovertible means beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah,
You can't look at it more than 30 seconds and stick with the call.
Yeah.
You can't overcall it if there's doubt. And they'll look for 3 or 4 minutes. Upon further review, the play is overcalled. And everybody saw his feet are in, and he has the ball. How did he overcall it?
Yeah.
Unless there's puppeteers.
I was wondering if anyone else agreed that the NFL should go to what college does and just 1 foot in. It would make the game a little more exciting. Way more crazy catches. But then again, the skill of what they do is one thing. The other thing that I've always wanted to do, this is crazy to most people, make the goalpost half as wide.
Skinnier.
Make the goalpost half as wide. It's hard to kick a fucking 30-yard field goal.
More.
Yeah, you're going for it more. And you're, these guys, that's all they do. And then they lose the game anyway because they hit it right or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck, make that
thing, one job.
Make that thing 10 yards wide at the most. And that's it. Now, when you kick a 60-yard field goal or a 50-yard field goal, it's got to be true, straight, right down the fucking middle. And you deserve that freaking thing. I think that would be awesome.
I thought that plenty times.
The other thing is letting them run back the kickoffs.
There's not that many injuries on kickoffs.
They'll allow a guy to receive a punt with a guy running full speed at him. And if he doesn't have the ability to, call fair catch, he's going to get plastered. Yeah. But they won't let the guy catch and run towards the oncoming.
It's one of the most exciting plays when you have
it really is. I mean, where are we going to draw the line on how you get hurt? I mean,
you know the risk.
They know when they played this game from the time they were Pop Warners. This is what comes with the game. This is why they support their families for the rest of their lives. And hopefully
generational money.
Hopefully they don't. I think Junior Seau is the saddest story as far as what takes place with the possibility of injury. I believe that's true. Those helmets back in the days that he played might have been a little less, technical and quality as far as the protection. And he used his head all the time for, straight up tackles in the middle of holes. And he wasn't a very big man, but he was super strong in his spirit and heart. He played like a man twice as strong as he was. He gave it all. And, some sort of, what do you call that?
CET.
CET is very possible. The fact that they make guys go to concussion protocol, I think is great.
It's great.
That's fantastic. That's what it's all about. They should have started that earlier. And we may have Junior to this day. I'll never forget his service when they showed his mom come up to the microphone. And she's a beautiful, big Samoan lady. And she doesn't understand. She still thinks he must be here somewhere. And she was yelling out, Junior, Junior. It was so incredibly sad. It just really, really touched me because I know the island community very well, and the Samoan people are beautiful people. And what I think is a remarkable thing is how they're physically gifted, most of them. You see the size of these men that come from the Samoan background. Their bodies are beautiful. God, they're just, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
some aggression.
And they just are strong,
Warriors.
And where they live and were raised, they don't have very many ways in business to really get ahead. So sports is a wonderful thing for them, and I couldn't love it more than seeing the Samoan people gravitate to football. They're such a gift. This is one thing that's great about being in the Pacific. We get to meet many different cultures from around the world that are just fantastic people.
Yeah. Very blessed. So you were saying, I did not know this, Joe Hortiz, I guess, the GM.
Yeah.
He was in the front office for the Ravens.
Yes. He's the director of player personnel for a long time, was responsible for a lot of the huge names that Ravens have always had a very strong, kind of a defensive or, strong player personalities that were you find these people in the draft that may not be top draft picks, but they turn out being just incredible players.
Yeah.
And he's now the GM for the Chargers. They just announced this last night.
Yep.
So that's a huge plus. They this kind of stuff is hit and miss, but when you hear a franchise that's finally doing all things you wish they always did before, it's a pleasure to see that. So
they have to be in, 100% the playoff conversation.
Yeah.
But they have to be in the Super Bowl conversation a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Jim Harbaugh is a difference maker right away.
Right away. And the other thing is, as much as I hated them moving from San Diego, which I still think was a mistake, they're in the largest market in the world, if not the second largest market in the world. And you've got to be significantly respected to be in that market. You can't just be the stepchilds forever.
Yeah.
So hopefully, though,
maybe they'll have a home game here and there. Maybe more Charger fans will show up once. I don't think they've had a home game in 30 years.
San Diego is where I was born and raised. I left there just out of high school. But I have a heart for San Diego. San Diego is the most beautiful city in the United States, basically. They call it America's finest city. How could you not utilize the area where Petco Park was built? Beautiful ballpark. Just south of it is this old train storage warehouse area that's basically where all homeless gather, and it's being used for nothing. You can see the harbor. It's right on the water. It's where they proposed a stadium to be. How could you fail at that? You could have Super Bowls there. No, that's a terrible excuse.
Didn't you want the community to pay for it?
Yeah, but it wasn't done properly.
I don't mind that anyway. I'll pay a little extra taxes to have a stadium.
Exactly. The thing is, it's going to come back to you tenfold.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is Spanos always wanted to be in the LA market. And there was just no other way around it. We never really had a chance. It was the owners that they had to fake it and placate the city of San Diego by acting like okay, well, let's see what we can do here. They never wanted to. So
why would he want to LA?
Just the huge, we're looking 50 years ahead or even 20 years ahead. Once you're accepted, you're in the largest market of the world. And it's true. There's a lot of people in LA that are just gradually becoming Charger fans that don't have a team, maybe. But,
a lot of stuff's going on in that city, too, though. You have to put a good product.
Yeah. What's done is done, and it doesn't do too much good to cry over it anymore. But what I see them doing now makes me believe they're finally, ready to step up and not be somebody's stepchild. It's embarrassing. Every home game, there's more people from the other team.
80% Cowboys when I went.
Yeah, crazy.
80%.
Crazy.
Nothing but Cowboy.
So,
and it was way louder. Justin Herbert's going silent count in his own stadium.
Yeah.
A lot.
And even that, it's the Rams stadium.
That too.
Just that whole thing bothers me. I feel like the NFL shouldn't allow there to be split stadiums. I don't think that's a good thing. Even with the Jets and the Giants. They're both New York, just like LA. Really? Can't you have a home, like your own home stadium?
Or Staples.
Yeah.
The Clippers and the Lakers.
Yeah, that whole thing. It
is weird.
It just doesn't, I don't like that. So, anyway, back to the activity over the past weekend and looking forward to the Super Bowl.
I'm not. I might skip it. I say that. I know it won't happen, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm not that disgruntled about it. I got a friend in Tim Havens. You're one lucky cat. This guy, one of my best friends, diehard Niners fan, called me at halftime and it was just like almost weeping. I don't know what to say. My team, oh my God. I never thought this was going to happen. My parents got season tickets. On and on and on and on. It's going to be okay, little feller. It's all right. You'll learn to like the Lions. They're a good team to root for. You know, and he was basically telling me, F off, Raz. What do I get an hour later? A call where he's on cloud 9, screaming and yelling, yes! I didn't see it coming. I mean, the Chargers did this a year or two ago with the Jaguars.
Last year.
Yeah, that just blew my mind. But once they scored that first touchdown, I got a bad feeling in my stomach.
It's like quicksand.
Yes.
And the more you struggle,
yes,
and you're sinking, and there's nothing you can do about it.
It just didn't look like the same team. In one circumstance after the other.
Yeah.
The ball hits off the guy's helmet and right into his hand, touchdown. The next kickoff, freaking punch a fumble out on the 25.
On the first play.
On the very first play.
Because he went the wrong side.
Yeah. It just, you're getting this like, oh, this ain't looking good.
And a couple drops, couple fourth downs.
So you're still thinking, okay, you're up by even 7. Take your time, make a long drive, do lots of running, cut that clock down. Get up at least one more touchdown. So now it's 2 touchdowns with
or a field
5
goal.
or 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You know, that's the least that should have happened.
Yeah.
That they didn't even score one more point blows my mind.
Till the very last couple plays.
Yeah. Garbage time.
Yeah.
Semi.
And why? Seems like they got away from the run.
The other thing I think would be a great rule, I've thought about this, and it would be perfect. Onside kicks. The defense should line 10 more yards back.
Yeah, they can run.
And the ball has to cross a 10-yard path, but now you both have come from the same amount of distance.
Oh, you mean the receiving team has to line up 10 back too?
Yes, but the kicker kicks it, but nobody can go from either side until it crosses 10 yards. Wow.
That'd be.
I don't know. The way it is now,
well,
how many do you see?
How about this? 4% work.
4%.
2 out of 40 this year.
2 out of 4. That's not good enough.
No, it's not good. But they should at least let the kicking team guys run full speed.
Well, all right.
They have
If
to
that's
be
the
standing
case,
there.
give them at least 5 more yards or something.
Yeah.
It's.
What if it only had to go 5 yards?
There should be strong hope that you can get at least 50-50 chance.
Well, maybe
or
30.
maybe 60-40. I don't know. But right now it's just way too. It just lets the air out of your
There used to be when you could run full speed. Now the kicking team has to just stand there. And it's again because they're worried about injuries, guys running full speed 10 yards. But it happens every play. No. Receivers run full speed and block a corner or a linebacker. Safeties come up full speed and hit a guy going full speed.
If a team needs 3 points and they need that ball really bad to make this game exciting, they should have a better chance than what they
20%
have. 20%
at least, not 4.
Got to be some way to figure that out. I don't know. I mean, I'd be up for it. Why don't they put grease all over the ball? Something. Make it cool, exciting as shit, Fucking, just really make that onside kick a possibility.
Yeah.
It bothers me that it's like,
I'm looking at Detroit's second half possessions. Goff, incomplete. Goff, sack, rush. After they tied the game up, 1 run, 2 incompletes, punt.
Yeah. That's why I say I did not like the look of their body language coming out of the
incomplete.
The halftime. It was almost like they got a call. The coach had to inform them. The mob's going to take all of us down if we don't do what we got to do. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Jimmy Chainsaw.
Jimmy Chainsaw.
Hope he's not knocking on our door.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah.
You have to. It's at least a chance of it. At least.
When you see someone play like that, gosh.
Okay. Well, we've done the damage. I like 40 minutes.
So there's a couple things I want to talk about where we live, people. We have a sport that's known as tow-in surfing. They use jet skis to launch surfers from their jet ski to the surfer holding onto a handle. it incredibly increases the odds of getting ahead of an enormous wave, basically almost tidal waves. These waves are huge, but you don't have to paddle it in. You're already halfway down the face before it starts to get like this. You're already down here. So what's happening in the last year or so is just mind blowing. Guys are riding waves that are, I don't know how to put a scale to it, as high as the tallest trees that you see in a forest. I mean, just massive amounts of water. Um, there's a place called Cortez Banks off the coast of San Diego, but it's 100 miles out. And in that area, there's a huge rise in the seafloor where it's only like 20 feet deep for about a square mile. So the waves come out of the middle of the ocean. They hit these banks, reefs, and make up enormous giant waves. I've seen a picture recently of Mike Parsons. They're calling it the largest wave ever surfed. It is phenomenal. The human beings that can do this are so far and few between. I want to just give them the utmost respect that they deserve for having the guts and the passion to do this. The last thing I want to say on that note is these guys that are now kite surfing, unbelievable. They're using their kites to surf regular waves, and they're actually like backdooring peaks and getting in tubes, holding onto their kites. And I mean, crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Getting out of that tube, pulling their turn, racing right back to the very same spot they catch the wave and doing it all over again. This is stuff that I imagined when I was a kid that would be in like the future, like space age stuff. And it's happening. I'm witnessing it now, and I can't believe it.
You like it?
I do. It's the skill it takes to do this is mind blowing. So I just want to give props to these guys that are doing this, and especially because of where we live, the oceans all around us. It is just incredible what they're doing. Now, they don't see what you're looking at.
No.
Yeah.
We're checking the footage.
Yeah. This
Possibly biggest wave ever.
is that Mike Parsons?
Yeah, Cortez.
Okay, that's Cortez Banks. Yeah, it's looking like it's it's only beginning to stand up. This guy's insane, bro. It's just
It's like that. And he's an ant.
Oh, wait till he gets to the bottom.
Holy!
It's so big. Like right there, if you ate it, dude, and you're stuck in this face,
yeah,
you're done. There's no way you can handle that much water.
Wow!
Don't mind us, folks. But we're watching one of the most incredible. Jesus, the thing is enormous.
And then the whole ocean just envelopes in on itself.
It's just enormous. If you can imagine the sound.
No.
Yeah. So, thanks for letting me sit with you here today, Richie. I didn't have anything to say as far as football knowledge. Just being your buddy. Supporting you through your dream. Hopefully in a year or two from now, if not sooner, if not a little later, somebody will give this man a chance. One of you Colin Cowards or, Nick Wrights, even Stephen A. Smith. I think people would love a segment that says, we've all kind of wondered what it'd be like to bring an amateur in on our show and just let him go and let's see what he's got. I'm going to request that with
5 good minutes.
PTI. Yeah, just let's see what this guy has. And I bet at the end you would all stand. Good job, Richie. You did it. And who knows where it would take him. But to me, he deserves that chance. Yeah. He's got the guts.
I'm putting in the work.
To do this.
Putting in the effort. Twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays, high noon Hawaiian time.
That's right.
The Spirit of Sports brought to you by Not Pods at Not Pods on my YouTube channel. Any high school kid that wants to do my website and get in early on a ground floor of something that's going to be great, let me know. I think we're going to wrap it up.
All right.
You'll be back after football. We'll talk some life because we are talking sports. We're talking life. And I got about 4 months of more life stories than sports coming up. So He outran the police in Mexico. Got lost in the cave.
Anyway, just go to your Google sometime and ask Google to show you the largest waves ever surfed. It's pretty incredible stuff.
He is.
All right.
All right.
Peace out.
Until we meet again on Saturday, high noon. Aloha and hui ho. Oh, sometimes I like to take a trip out east, though.
I was going to give a
real quick out east, so hold up. We're not quite done.
I was going to tell your girlfriend that how much joy she's brought to your life.
That too. All right. Have a good day.
Here we are in Okinawa.
Okinawa.
On the